with that Stormhammer.
Ember Spirit.
Choose your hero.
I was wondering about the Ember.
All right, explain it to me, Kips.
Yeah, I was talking about the lack of lockdown on Gorillaz-Pride as well. Basically, the only one he has to worry about on the Ember Spirit is the Tiny. And we are going to see 4+ Tiny come out here. So that burst damage is not going to chew through the Flame Guard very fast at all.
So which draft are we favoring?
Ooh, rough to say. I think Gorillaz-Pride has drafted themselves a very interesting lineup. They're definitely not giving up on this series. They're trying everything they can.
Oh yeah.
But at the same time, as you say, like FURIA have a lot of the stuff they're comfortable with. It's going to be rough playing this Winter Wyvern and a Baton combination into the AA. But at the same time, if you survive the burst, after that you can still heal up anyway. So it's... Gorillaz-Pride needs good lanes, is basically what I'm saying.
Okay. You didn't give me an answer. You gave me all of the theory crafting, but you did not actually give me an answer for whose draft you like better.
Mm-hmm. You're good at this. Nice job. All right,
Put it all on the line, Kips. Is this going to be a shutout? Is this going to be a shutout? Is FURIA going to take it? Are we going to see some lanchas in chat? Or are Gorillaz-Pride going to bounce back? They're showing a fighting spirit, which I absolutely love. They've got their timber saw. Tell me. Just give me a definitive answer. Gorillaz-Pride or FURIA?
In a vacuum, Gorillaz-Pride has the better draft, I feel, here. But since I've seen the quality of FURIA's play, if I had to bet here, I'd go for FURIA.
All right. There we go. So we've got... a strong bet here for FURIA. Are we paused? I feel like we're paused. Nope, never mind. Just kidding. All right, guys, here we go. FURIA versus Gorillaz-Pride. Game number 3. I'm really curious about this timber saw, because if it gets banned as often as I've seen it, he must be something special with it.
Either that or it's just a good answer in general to a lot of these a little bit more cheesy pickups.
That is true as well. So the classic SA pause right off the bat. I always love seeing this little nimble Ben courier. If they pause right away, he gets stuck up on the top of the screen. It's a little bit of a... It's not even a bug. It's actually, that was more of a feature. Because he will drop eventually. Just a little bit late. He's a little shy, that nimble Ben courier. He's like, oh, is it time to drop? Guys, I'm a little nervous about this. I don't know if I want to do it just yet. But he gets there. He gets there. We have some very nice... I love this bugbear. I love this bugbear.
You said that before, but I didn't find him yet. Where's whose courier is that?
It is the courier belonging to Yadomi.
To Yadomi.
This little dude down here. Very cute. What's he got in his little backpack? Oh, he's got some little gears. That's keeping him flying. Little robot bear, bugbear. Ooh, we went a little bit too far back. Very tall, ancient apparition. Not as good as the Rubik we saw the other day, right?
Yeah, that was some nightmare fuel. I'd like you to not remind me of that pulled up heap of wizard.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm just sort of running the storylines in my head here for... FURIA could very well get... Like, especially if they would be playing extremely fast, pushing with this Abaddon, the Ancient Apparition could really mess them up. But I haven't even seen them cluster around that hero all that much. He mostly comes in from the side to heal people up. Mm-hmm. And with the TB, the momentum is going to need to be made by G-Pride. And that's... The lane, Storm versus Ember, pretty 50-50, I'd say. The Timbersaw, though, is going to be up against most likely Terrorblade and the Winter Wyvern.
Mm-hmm. But you mentioned too, though, right? Like in the previous series, you said Terrorblade, the way that they've redone him with the Conjure image, he can go in jungle at level 3.
Yeah, he can.
So is it that big of a deal then? Do you just allow the Timber to push, take your tower? And what's happening here? Why is Timber going top?
Ooh, switch up. Okay.
Are they anticipating maybe that they're going to try to dodge? Or do they have their own plans in mind?
Yeah. If the Timber Saw is their key to getting momentum in this game, and they might see it that way, then they can make sure that he gets the safer lane up top, and you can actually tri-lane on bottom with a double stun lane plus an AA, which isn't bad on the kill potential at all.
That's actually very scary, yes. It's definitely a kill lane if you're not careful. I have a feeling we might see Duster being the first blood as per tradition. No flame on Duster. It always seems like it happens.
30 seconds.
Yeah, we've had that happen in Complexity, where if 343 didn't die first, it's kind of... You're worried.
Bad luck. Bad luck charm.
Yes.
I would also like to point out that this ward is adorable. It's a puppy seal ward. Oh my god. Junior, oh. I love it. I love it. Alright, runes are coming up though, and you can see Yadomi showing himself. He's gonna just take a couple hits on RDO. Duster is gonna get forced off from the runes. So 2 runes going to FURIA, 2 runes going to the boys of G-Pride here.
So G-Pride's lane has been shown. Timbersaw is top, which means that the Terrorblade is moving his way over as well. They're saying, alright, if you want to farm on top, we want to farm on top too.
Okay.
And they're going to move the Abaddon, who can much better handle a very tough laning stage, towards the bottom lane. He is going to miss the first wave though, so Duster, well, if you can stay within the XP range, he's going to hit level 2 very fast in this lane here. The Tiny, look at the Tiny, he's actually intercepting this Abaddon, just coming to mess with him.
Well, you might as well get a couple free hits off.
Yep.
See the Ancient Apparition also making his way over. It's the toss-up with the Cold Feet, but just, again, like you said, this Abaddon, he can deal with this kind of pressure. Careful with that courier, friends.
No. He does, yes. And I expect Yadomi to be hanging around the back more here. He wants a courier, and especially this Abaddon does not have all that much regen on him. And as soon as the Sven starts taking points in the cleave, the Abaddon is just going to really get harassed out. So let's see if Yadomi hangs around the back more.
Abaddon, your presence helps dispel the fog of war.
I wonder if this is kind of the case of your lane's gonna suck, but it's gonna get better, I promise. Right? So, you know, it's more important to get the farm onto RDO, get him started, so that way he can pop off to the jungle, and then maybe, you know, you end up letting these supports or whatnot take one of the lanes and be able to farm up and get some gold.
Yes, and you also know that G-Pride doesn't actually want any attention on this top lane. That's why they're putting that Timbersaw there in the first lane. He's just there to basically hold that tower. So you have a relatively uninteresting place for the Terrorblade to be, and if you're a hard carry, uninteresting is good. Please be more bored by me. I promise I'm only gonna hit creeps.
Yadomi's making his way over here to this mid lane. He realizes, okay, you know, it's gonna be difficult for us to really find an easy kill in the bottom lane, so he'll just walk past Murdoch. Whoa, okay, whoops.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was the...
Nerves, maybe? You know, it is, you know, this could be the game where G-Pride get eliminated. And you have to believe, okay, it's a kill on the courier. The drag back, Murdoch. He might actually, no, he has a Fairy Fire, never mind. Just kidding. But, you know, mindset is a huge part of Dota too. And if you're feeling very pressured, sometimes you crumble. It's the same thing as seeing people who do really, really well on LAN, or rather on online qualifiers, and then they get to LAN and the pressure is a lot, right?
Oh yes, it happens. I gotta say though, I often see people do better with their backs against the wall in a situation like this, and the nerves are way more on the people who will have to make the win happen. But FURIA are miles deep in their comfort zone right now, so I don't actually expect too much of that. Look at Duster baiting Yadomi in with the courier.
I do get a nice toss onto the Abaddon. He's got the shield. There's going to be the slow being thrown out by Duster. it's enough. They can kite him pretty well here. Adomi, let's see about going back in.
So much value out of that Arctic burn. If you get to hit 3 heroes with that health percentage, that's insane. And oh, well.
Oh, but the toss back. I think that's going to be the end of our friend Duster here.
It's a trip on tiny airlines. And these skies were not friendly.
Yeah, but if you have anyone die in your team, the position 5 is definitely the one you want.
He was level 3 though. And up until that moment exactly there, Yadomi was only level 1.
Oh.
So it means a little bit more than you'd expect. That said, they killed Kukahook's courier before, and right now he's getting harassed out of the lane mega hard right now. Duster's going all in.
They are. There's going to be the toss back up again. They get the kill on NSR. Maybe a little bit too much of a dive, but he wants that courier, and he's going to be able to get
the kill too.
Mine.
What a player. So yeah, for Kukahook this might be actually the better outcome, where he gets to take the free base strip, so to speak, grab a couple of more tangos until his courier is back.
Do you see what RDO's doing up here? He's pulling his own waves. Doesn't want to deal with lane, just grabs the creep, pulls them over to the side, does a little bit of, like we said, we talked about that Conjure image, he's got a couple points in it. But it's odd to see him pulling the wave for the enemy team.
Well, if you're up against a Timbersaw who by now can, he's not going to take any damage from your illusions because of the reactive armor, and who can clear them very well with the Timber Chain Whirling Death combination. You'd rather just not make it harder on yourself. He's going to get all of the creeps he wants either way. Better make sure that you can do the same, because the Timber has out-leveled him very hard as well. Look at that. Level 6, RDO only level 4 because he's had to share EXP with that Rubik.
But he's still very high in terms of CS. He's 33 and 3. Timbersaw very close, 28 and 1. But I think RDO is okay with this. I think as long as they can make the space for him to hit creeps.
Yeah, or as long as he can make his own space, as he showed off in this case. And I think, with as many points as he has in the Conjure image right now, he's got level 3. He's probably going to leave the top lane mostly to Hiko. Get some more levels up on this Rubik, and leave the Timbersaw to his own devices.
He almost managed to go and get that toss. He is pinging out like, hey, any assistance? But Yadomi, he'll back off. And he did manage to get a courier snipe during all that, so it's not going to be anything getting ferried out to the Timbersaw for another minute or so. You can see a TP coming down bottom, though. Looks like the Storm Spirit, he wants to be a part of this. It's only level 4 on NSR. This is going to be a quick pick-off. They can find him. He jukes around into the trees, but still gets taken down. They'll go pop that Invis rune, chase after Duster, but they don't want to go for this dive. And on the side over here, RDO, he's getting attacked by Yadomi. You can see Murdoch making his rotation over. It's just going to provide that backup, so they try to push away for RDO. And he might actually go into lane now.
Yeah, one of the problems with FURIA not picking up a lane dominator for Murdoch like they've done before is that he has actually lost his lane to the Storm Spirit, who it's been a very calm and quiet death, but you can see that the Storm Spirit is like 2 slots up on him.
And the Storm Spirit's got to be really happy right now. Mr. Jean's finding himself that trusty shovel we've talked about, which does give him the opportunity to find a bounty rune, which could refill his bottle. So pretty good RNG going over to the side of G-Pride so far. It does seem like a very minor thing. Bottom lane, looks like they tried to make another jump onto NS Art. He's so low right now. The final hit from the tower is going to be the killing blow. As now Duster turns around, he's trying to slow them down using that Splinter Blast. He's got a little bit of that flying coming out. He's going to land. RDO also finding a shovel in the meanwhile. Duster, is he going to be able to make it? It looks like he is. He'll turn back around. Cold Feet gets applied. And he's just going to hide underneath his tower. He doesn't want anything else to do with it at this time.
So with his level 3 Splinter Blast, he can hold this tower pretty well if he doesn't, overextend like this. That creep wave's dead. And Yadomi?
Yeah, Yadomi is sitting very, very low, but not quite enough damage. Top lane though, Storm Spirit, he's had a good lane. He's gonna make use of it. Mr. Jeans finds himself another kill. And taking down Hiko, and that's pretty scary right now. It's all about G-Pride, they've got this momentum, they won their lane over in the mid. And we're going to see the pressure being applied. But I think one of the other big things is keep an eye on RDO. Keep an eye on this guy.
I don't know, I'll start keeping an eye on him around like 20 minutes.
When he emerges and he says, I'm ready to fight.
Yes. Now, for now, the Timber Saw is pretty much unstoppable. You need to get all 4 heroes of Furia on top of this guy in order to bring him down. And if you don't do that, like, sure, Rubik is normally pretty good at holding towers, but as we could see before, that just makes him free food for the Storm Spirit. And Murdoch is not ready to do the same to the supports of the other side.
TP's coming out as they go. They pop the ultimate over onto Ensard. In comes Murdoch. Uses all of those remnants all at once, but does get stunned up by the Stormhammer. Looks like the Ancient Apparition is going to stay alive a little bit longer. They want this kill on Kukahook here. Going, bottling through, trying to find this opening. They'll get the slow off over onto the Winter Wyvern. Kukahook's just juking around in circles, but the last hit comes through from Murdoch. So he'll get a sleight of fist kill, and we do have those 10-minute outposts coming up very, very soon.
Yeah, so a bit of an over-engagement from WePlay there, I'd say, because I was talking about how Murdoch can't really go and just randomly kill people. Well, you can if you just group up and give him the triple remnant.
We have a saying with the Ember Spirit, there's the NA special. Typically the NA special takes place in the mid lane, but it's when the Ember hits 6 and uses literally all of his remnants at once to get a kill, and then immediately gets TP'd on and then he dies. Very similar.
That sounds like a regional...
Oh yes, it's a regional specialty. Only the highest of IQ players are able to pull it off. Hiko? This is pretty nice though. He has hit his own level 6, so he has the Timber Chain. He's very mobile now. He's going to be able to get away from the Timber Saw. Not so much of the Storm Spirit if he decides to make a visit to the top lane, but Storm just seems pretty happy sitting in middle right now. Murdoch making his way back over. Off those chains. There's going to be the Tiny. He's also rotating. They have the vision on Yadomi, and they'll get a kill, but they actually managed to get the kill on RDO. Winter's Curse will hold the Storm Spirit in place, and again, they're very light on this lockdown. We've talked about this. Ice Blast comes through, doesn't manage to land over onto Murdoch. There's going to be the Timber Chain Duster trying to run himself away. It's pretty difficult for him now. Mr. Jeans, TP's coming out over into the mid lane, trying to keep him alive. Duster, he's crawling, baby. He's trying to get out of there. They'll turn it right back around. We have a Veil getting used. Murdoch, he's trying to catch up with him, but he just doesn't have the Remnant. Not going to be able to.
Hiko just shoveling instead of chasing more. But yeah, you can see a problem here where Furia has 2 targets they need to lock down. Both the Timber Saw as well as the Storm Spirit can definitely die, but they need to focus all of their attention on either one of them. And when both get involved, right there, they can complement each other and make sure that these few disables of Furia get spread out too much. Both of them survive, and this is just demoralizing if you're Furia. Like, you can't do anything about either of those cores, and neither of them are the farming core, which is the Sven, who is grabbed himself a full Yasha in the meanwhile and is going to use his broom handle to clear out some Ancients.
Yeah, that broom handle is like perfect for him. The plus 35 attack range because he's melee, plus 12 damage, plus 3 armor. It's a nice little surprise for a Sven to pick up. Bottom lane though, we can see a little bit of a scuffle going for that outpost. Nice avalanche coming out from Yadomi, and his art, he wants to chase after him. They get a kill on Hiko in the top lane, as expected when you have a Storm Spirit that decides to pay a visit. And the double damage rune to boot. Now my question about G-Pride though, and again, you see this in a lot of the younger teams, quote unquote. I say that because, you know, these guys have probably been playing for quite a while, but it's the inability to close out a game.
Yes.
So I get a little worried about that because right now it feels like G-Pride, they're strong, right? They're very strong. They've got a Timber Saw, they've got a Storm Spirit who has had just a fantastic laning phase, has pulled off a couple ganks as well, has some kills under his belt. But we still have RDO doing RDO things, and eventually he is going to show up. And are they going to be able to finish up the game, like tie it up as neatly and as nicely with a bow in time? Whoa, Hiko, alright, that was very aggressive.
Under attack.
He's definitely posturing. Like, as long as these Winter Wyvern and Rubik manage to keep the creep wave away, they should be pretty safe on his bottom lane. It would require a Storm Spirit diving all of the way in for them. And you can really see by the way that Furia are playing that they are just buying time for this Terrorblade.
Hiko, standing nearby. He does have that timber chain that he's stolen. Might be forced to use it. Nice interruption. Ice Blast comes through. Doesn't land on anyone, though. Hiko, again, just yo-yoing himself out of a bad situation. Duster hiding beneath this tower. They need someone to get down here, though, or they need to just make a lot of space. In fact, Duster is just going to TP out. They know that they don't have that stun just yet. Yodomi, he was trying with the avalanche, not going to be able to find it. They do want to fight, though, it looks like. You can see Murdoch making his way down. Is going to find the Ancient Apparition, and he should be able to just cut away on him. Uses that remnant, gets the kill. Now it looks like Timbersaw, he's decided, alright, that's more than enough. I don't want to really have to fight underneath this tower, not with Murdoch here, not right now, not with the Ancient Apparition gone, and of course, the Ice Blast on cooldown. So I had kind of a weird question for you, Kips, before I forget, because I will probably forget. Oh, hold on, never mind, there's a kill over here. I caught it! I did not tee towards that one.
Alright, hit me.
Alright, my question is, if you have multiple people channeling the outpost, it goes quicker, right?
Yes.
If you are in the vicinity and you're listening for the sound cue, can you tell how many people are channeling on the outpost?
I don't think so. I haven't honestly heard the sound cue change for multiple people.
Scanning.
I wasn't sure if you hear it go quicker or whatnot. Top lane, NS are getting jumped by Mr. Jeans. So it's going to TP out. Yodomi will cancel it, of course. There's going to be another kill for the Storm Spirit. The Storm Spirit, he's getting very, very big. But one thing to keep in mind, too, with momentum-based heroes is that if you start to lose that momentum at all, you start to become less efficient. So right now he's playing very well. He's making very smart decisions. He needs to continue to make those smart decisions.
Dire's middle tower.
Well, it is fairly easy though for him. Like, luckily for Hiko right now, there is no mana on that Storm Spirit, but otherwise he would be dead again. And that Storm Spirit is going to have a Bloodstone soon, and I don't see a lot of ways that Furia had the sheer damage to deal both with the Timbersaw as well as the Storm Spirit, who are both pretty much getting to play the game that they want. Now let's see, Timber, are you not tanky enough to stand up to all three of the magic damage dealers? So that's really good for Furia. They got a bail now though.
Do they have it? I was about to say, they need that Winter's Curse to get Murdoch out here. He's going to get slowed down. They could try to go back in again. In fact, he wants to do it. He uses that Timber Chain. It's going to get stunned up, though, by Kukahook, who uses the God Strength, has the Storm Hammer, just trying to zip himself away. The toss up into the air. He tosses him right back at him again. Can he get himself out? RDO is trying to get the fight now. They're going to try to keep chasing down. Do they manage to get it? Yes, they'll find the kill onto Yodomi. Kukahook, he needs help. He's not going to get it. RDO, he shows up, and he finds himself a double kill.
Under attack.
Look at how much that Rubik made them overextend. They were like, alright, 1 more second for this kill, 1 more second for this kill. No, he's still alive. And the cavalry comes in. You're overextended. You involved your Sven, popped his God Strength for nothing. This is beautiful play by Furia. Really just trusting in that Rubik to deliver, waiting around for him to do his magic, and guess what? They get rewarded.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And just like that, too, like, there wasn't a really big lead going over to the side of G-Pride, although they felt very, very strong, obviously. We talked about, you know, the Storm Spirit being one of those snowball heroes. Hold that thought for 1 second as the toss. Oh. Alright, you know, this Rubik is causing so many problems. One thing to note about Hiko, like, I've known this guy for a while. I've watched his career. He's always been one of those top players for me to watch, but he's moved through a lot of different positions in his professional career. He played mid for a while, he's played off lane, he plays, you know, position 4 is my favorite role for him, honestly. I feel like he does a lot with different sort of heroes, especially, you know, right now Rubik is pretty solidly a 4, but I've seen him play some different ones. You can see that kind of coming into play here, though, with the amount of, you know, certain heroes that he plays. Look at this! Mr. Jeans is like, I'm so sick of this Rubik. Get him out of here. Murdoch trying to TP himself away. Should be able to. It's so close. Just barely manages to TP out. But you can see the experience of playing different roles, playing different heroes when Hiko is playing this Rubik, is what I'm trying to get at. There's just so much happening that it's a little bit long-winded.
Yes, definitely. Like, what I wanted to touch on is, and that probably saved Murdoch's life there as well, he's gone for a very tanky, mid-game heavy magic damage build. He went for the Spirit Vessel, which is a bit more of an uncommon pickup on the Emma Spirit these days, but it provides a lot of health, it provides some armor, and it's going to help him bring down this Timber Saw. It's got 3 charges on it as well, thanks to the brawling in the bottom lane. And he's also got the Veil, which really amplifies his 2 supports' ability to deal damage. So, right now, he's helping hold off this snowball of G-Pride, and look at that, they're so distracted with going for that bot lane again that they're completely missing out on a Roche that's currently being done by RDO. Like, you haven't seen RDO for 10 minutes now? I told you. I'll start paying attention to him at 20. He's a minute early.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
He was so nervous, Kips. He's like, I gotta make sure I get it on time for Kips to notice me, senpai.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
But yeah, no, this is one of those cores that you cannot sleep on. You can't just expect, okay, well, we shut him down now, it's gonna be fine. RDO will come back with a Fury. You can see too, his Terrorblade is one of his most played heroes. He's very good with this. And while they're putting pressure on that bottom tower, you're having some waves shoved in over here on the mid lane and the top lane. And RDO is still just farming up, doing RDO things.
I really enjoyed how Furia just held that bottom tower as long as possible with as little resources as possible, and G-Pride got so distracted by it. We have had our camera on the bottom side of the map for the past 10 minutes, and so have G-Pride. And you can't underestimate that. That enabled Furia to get so many of these items up and made sure that they're now completely back into the game, even though that Storm Spirit was balling out of control.
Literally and figuratively.
Timbersaw gets spotted out on the mid lane.
Radiant's middle tower is
I don't think he's a
attack.
priority for them right now. I think they just want to take over their jungle, keep RDO farming, and he did get those Vampire Fangs. 14% lifesteal, plus 8 spell lifesteal, and the plus 250 night vision. It's a great item for any core really to pick up.
Yeah, it's so much value, and he's got the Ring of Aquila as well. Like, it feels so strange seeing that there, because not because it doesn't belong there, but because it's so right. Like, a couple of patches ago, he would have had that Aquila right there anyway.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
See that triangle getting drawn out. Looks like Abaddon does run into the Storm Spirit, but he doesn't know where anyone else on the enemy team is. He doesn't want to fight into it.
Radiant's bottom tower.
And now it just feels like G-Pride feels kind of like they're running around in circles, kind of like have you ever played bot games?
Oh yeah.
You know when the bots get to a point and they just don't exactly know what to do and they just kind of shuffle around? That's kind of what G-Pride feels like right now. They just don't know what to do. They had this Timbersaw, who again, he's very, very powerful, but the build that they've chosen to go for on the side of Furia addresses this very, very cleanly, especially if they're able to, have Hiko steal some of these really nice spells for the nuke damage. And then you've got a Storm Spirit who's looking for some pickoffs, but it just feels like they've lost a little bit of that momentum here. Winter's Curse gonna hold the Timbersaw into place, and now keep an eye out on Kukahook over here. He has the God Strength. They just get the kill on Timber, and then they're going to go right back in again. They want to take down Hiko. They'll get the toss right back underneath the tower. He'll toss right back in again, but he will eventually get taken down. Mr. Jeans wants to be a part of this kill.
That is an absolutely great exchange for Furia, though, and they drew, once again, 5 enemy players into the mid with only 3 of theirs. The economic efficiency of Furia right now is on a completely different level than of G-Pride, and it must be so frustrating for G-Pride to play this because they're not entirely sure how they can keep bringing all of their heroes and still lose fights.
A tool to teach.
The Arcane Rune online now for Murdoch. He just keeps putting the pressure over here. Yadomi has the Blink Dagger. It's going to be the jump forward over onto Murdoch. They know that Duster doesn't have the big save that he'd like to use, and there's going to be the Storm Hammer as well coming out from Kukahook, and Murdoch, though, zips right out. Nice Thunder coming out from RDO. Says, Murdoch, get back in there. Just go. Push him back. I'm going to just go back to farm and have a good time there, buddy. I am out. Arzart now having to run away. Sorry, NS Art. I keep calling him Arzart because of bad, bad habits. But they're going right back in again. Look at Murdoch zipping after Kukahook. He knows that, he can go in there. They still have that BKB online, but he's going to have to pop it defensively, and they'll hold him into place. They're just going to end up wasting it. Duster will get taken down. RDO, he's here. He's got his own BKB, and he's just throwing out hits on everybody. On the back lines, we'll lose Hiko. We've already lost Duster, and now they really want Mr. Jeans. They don't have any mana left online for this guy. Ice Blast gets landed over onto Murdoch. Murdoch doesn't seem to really give much of a care here, as he's going to jump forward. This is his one spirit who wants to take down his brother, but he's not going to be able to as RDO finds the kill, and now they're going to go right after that Timber Saw. He was tanky a while ago, but boy, is he not tanky anymore.
A little bit of a sloppy fight there from FURIA even, where they split up a little bit too much, leave their backlines exposed, lose their supports. But in the end, how much does it matter when you have RDO showing up big and strong like this? He's got the BKB, he's got the Manta style, and he's going to be causing some tower consequences. Very great Sunder buy in there, by the way. Keeps the entire fight going.
Got another fight headed out here too. They've got that Sunder. They'll go right back in again. And now the tiny Yadomi, he's always in the front lines, but he's always getting murdered because they just don't have the follow-up against FURIA. And just like that, he's taken down for 40-something seconds. The Aegis has already been reclaimed, but they're just going to keep going. They're going to take even more buildings. They know that Sven is having difficulty getting in here. RDO is just so powerful. Even with that BKB, it doesn't really seem to matter all that much. And oh, that's a melted ice cream cone over there. Kips. They will lose BL. The buyback coming out from Ancient Apparition. Kukuk, he's running in, but he doesn't really have the support that I think he really needs. Hiko, he's still here. The zip forward. Okay, did not see that Mr. Jeans had zipped over on the side. This is probably... I absolutely hate mixed spirits. Duster, though, he'll hold him in place. There is no mana left on Mr. Jeans. He may have just committed his own death now. As you can see, that one little Terrorblade illusion just chopping away at him. He can't do anything about it. It's going to be a buyback coming out from Hiko. They realize they're weak. They can smell blood in the water. They're going to be chasing after this Timber Saw. They've already got that Spirit Vessel charge on him. He's not a tanky boy anymore. As RDO, Hiko, and Murdoch just go and murder him. They jump back in over on the side. Duster going to get thrown up into the air. The Glimmer Cape not going to be able to save him. They do have the vision. They're going to go back in. BL gets taken down. And that's a BKB coming out from Cook yet again because he cannot stand there anymore. He has to use it defensively.
And the Storm Spirit respawning is the reason for FURIA to retreat, but by the choices that he makes, especially chasing further, he just baits his team into over-engaging. And look at how perfectly timed that is.
Just in time for meta.
Yep.
RDO is getting dragged back again, but he's got a BKB and he's got a Sunder, and just like that.
Oh, he goes with the
G.
Stolen Vortex. MVP. Absolutely. He was the architect behind that turnaround fight on bot. He was the architect behind the entire hold on bot lane that bought him so much time.
Alright, well they're trying. They're trying to get them off of the space here. RDO still standing nearby. There's going to be the lift over and... oh my god, this is a dead Storm Spirit. Again, he has died so fast, Kips, in the course of how many minutes?
Oh, that Stolen Electric Vortex. The duration is so long on that honor Ruby.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
You only have to miss one storm jump as a Storm Spirit, and if the Rubik gets that spell, the next time you go in, yeah, he is the better Storm Spirit.
And just like that, the side of G-Pride, they lose their mid, they lose their top. What do we have for buyback? I think we had a lot of buybacks go on during that time. The Storm Spirit had to buy back. Surprisingly, in the Ancient Apparition, I felt like there was more than that. I guess they just stayed in their base for so long, and it's only 27 minutes, so... I don't know. There's a little bit of scuffle over here as they toss the Winter Wyvern. Duster's like, I really didn't want that, but Murdoch says, it's fine, I wanted it, I got a kill, you're fine, just stop being a baby.
Under attack. Dire's bottom shrine
Yes, Murdoch.
has fallen.
Excellent itemization from him, has jumped right back into this game and can
Dire's
now
bottom
really
tower is under
frontline
attack.
these engagements, because as much as FURIA doesn't have a lot of lockdown, so does G-Pride.
That's the Scotty online. They, luckily, for the side of
Dire's
G-Pride,
bottom tower
they
is
don't
under
see the
attack.
double damage rune down here because that's pretty much all that they just need right now. RDO getting a double damage, fresh Scotty just running at them.
They get one more fight here. The Storm Spirit's going to be up, the AAA is going to be up. If they manage to, say, blow up both of the backliners, so both
Dire's bottom tower
Duster as
is
well as
under attack.
Hiko, maybe there is a
Dire's
shot here
bottom
for G-Pride.
tower has
It's
fallen.
funny that the position 4 is almost like the most wanted person on this list right now. It's because of the plays that he is making. They spot Yadomi over on the corner, just zipping away. can see the Sven. He's going to get lifted up, and there's going to be the Chakram being thrown. He's got the BKB. They're trying to get a beautiful curse, though, coming out from Duster, holding him in place, wasting that BKB. He's still alive. They don't have the damage. They tried to go for him. They couldn't do it. Kip's RDO. He's just slicing through the Timber Saw, and he's going to face back around. Are they going to go for the tower? No, there's going to be the toss-up. RDO says, thanks for that, Udomi. I could use a little top off. I was getting a little bit low. Murdoch just chasing after BL. Gets the kill. Kukahook. They're just forced back into that fountain. They can't do it. They do. They call the GG, and that's it. Let me see your launches in that chat. Brazilian Dota's going to the minor, baby.
And dominantly too. Like, the quality of their play there, like the way they manipulated G-Pride around the map, really just tempting them into that bottom lane choke point again and again.